Yes, people. Another episode, 2 times 1 podcast. We're here again. It seems like we can we've caught the bug. We've caught the bug on how to be consistent. Yeah, man. Arham, welcome. How you doing? How are you feeling? Essentially, it's been a it's been a good few weeks for Arsenal, but I feel like it's still been a bit like you still got basically someone at the back of the party trying to like ruin the party basically. So yeah, how do you
Yeah,
feel? Yeah,
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Overall, everything good. Life's decent. All of that. Arsenal, well, there is no party, brother. But yeah. What about you yourself, man? What about yourself? Because
yeah, I'm good.
bit of
Obviously,
an emotional
Liverpool.
ending.
Yeah, man. I didn't like think it would end like this. I thought it might be ending in a more in a more competitive manner. But obviously, we are where we are. So yeah, I feel like I'm probably feeling like more like grateful in it. Like I think after we lost to Palace and I knew it was over, I was like, you know what, like there's no point getting angry. Let me just be grateful. Do you get what I mean? So obviously it hurts a bit because that freehold race was there. I thought it was possible, but yeah, man, I'm feeling grateful for Klopp. Yeah, I don't have anything negative. I shouldn't have any negative, but yeah, I don't have anything negative to say. So yeah, I'm feeling grateful. But yeah, it's a shame that you couldn't be here talking about all 3 teams. But yeah, we'll move on. Move on. Obviously today's Thursday, and obviously Arsenal played on Sunday. Obviously before the game, we spoke about it. Obviously that's probably this was like a big game. I think probably looking at the psychological side of it as well. Old Trafford is a big ground for anyone to come to, and even for a big club, and even considering that Arsenal have a lot of history with United, that was always going to be the banana skin. But obviously, yeah, you guys came through. Obviously, 1-0 victory. Trossard scored, I think, the 20th minute.
Mm.
So yeah, talk to me. Obviously, when I watched the game, I got like it's funny because when I watched the game, I it was like the opposite to Liverpool and how we played when we went there and drew 2-2. You guys went there and obviously it was obvious that you wanted to control that transition threat. You weren't really, uh, of course, you wanted to attack, but you weren't really as big on attacking as we were when we went there. So
Mm.
that's what like that, if I had to pick like one thing, I say compared to Liverpool, it was just such a composed, steady performance. Obviously, talk me through it. What happened? I know you scored early, and obviously that probably shaped the game a bit for you. But obviously, yeah, talk me through what happened. And yeah, let's go.
Yeah, no, I think that game. I think from Arsenal perspective, I think most of us obviously went into the game thinking, look, let's try and smash these lot in it. They're trash right now. Let's try and actually let's actually try and like do them properly.
Yeah,
When the game started, I think what happened was I think in general, I think Arsenal. I think the mentality of the team was just get out of there with the 3 points and just win, just win and get out.
yeah,
I think it's a common theme again during the running. Man United, Spurs, Chelsea, all teams that when you give them open spaces, they are dangerous. But
it's
when you
long. Yeah,
don't give them open spaces, they are not very good at. They're not the best at breaking you down. So I think what we decided to do was like again, just look, we're gonna try and press you high. But if we can't press you high, we're gonna drop and you're gonna try and break us down and you're not gonna be able to do it. So I think
yeah,
that's been a tactic throughout the running for certain spells and games. Um, I thought off the ball we were very good in terms of how disciplined we were, how we got numbers back quickly, how even the way we pressed as well high. Um, I would have liked to have seen us win more, cause them to lose the ball a bit more.
yeah.
Um, but United, to be fair, actually didn't play too bad in the build-up compared to what I expected. Um, but on the ball, I thought we were very poor. We were very poor. I thought on the ball against United. I thought
Any
United.
any reason for
Hmm?
that? Do you have a reason
I
for that? Would
thought,
you blame a particular player? And obviously, I've heard rumors about obviously play not rumors, but I've seen fans more so. I think Party would. I think was like his first game
yeah,
back in a while, or first full game back, or something like that.
I think
Yeah. So,
Thomas
what's your
Partey,
thoughts on that?
he's been playing quite a lot recently, but I think Thomas Partey, I think what happened was he gave the ball away in a dangerous spot. I think the first 5 minutes of the game,
Mm,
and Hoyland probably should have at least hit the target. And after that, the guy was just like, "Yo, I'm not risking anything." And in the end, that hurt our central progression a lot. I thought what happened was that they go man for man in it, and to
yep.
be fair, them going man for man, they had McTominay on Thomas Partey, and they had Amrabat and Martin Odegaard. And what they did there was they through those two they completely stifled our central progression from the back.
Mm,
And normally when you go man for man, I think this is a problem we've had recently as well. When teams go man for man against us, we need to do more. I feel to break them up. I think what again, Kavers dropped in as a +1, but as a +1 he was very poor, very poor. I thought as a like when you'd get the ball, he wouldn't necessarily turn, and instead he would pass back, but his ball passes weren't even that effective. Like
mm,
sometimes he would lose the ball in dangerous spots, causing transition, etc. So I think the big problem was actually Arsenal playing through Man United's press, which is quite surprising based on the theme of this season, where Man United have been very, very open. But I thought that Man United actually off the ball, I think distance-wise, is a lot smaller. I thought they did very well to stifle our central progression, going for man for man. And we just didn't have a good day, I thought, in possession. But off the ball, I thought we defended quite well. Um, yeah, we didn't. They didn't really create anything, to be honest, apart from the
yep.
whole in the first 3 4 minutes. They didn't really create anything. But it was all about
Yeah, I
getting
agree.
done.
I even got here that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I even got here that you only conceded you conceded 14 shots. The times obviously they had 14 shots. However, they had zero big chances according to FootMob. Obviously, this could be wrong. It depends who you look at for
Mm.
stats, but according to FootMob, United didn't create any clear cut chances. I think Arsenal created one chance, one big chance, sorry, and it said that he only conceded a times G of 1.52. I'm assuming that that's probably like all of the shots being accumulated, and obviously the holding shots as well. But again, I think probably a common theme with Arsenal is that you guys are probably the best. Yeah, you are the best in the league at just limiting high quality chances. Um, yeah, and again, obviously looking at United, like they were never if they were going to win the game, they were never going to win it by breaking you down in a low block. It was always going to be a thing where they would have to you have to press them high and for them to obviously capitalize off of the transitions. And so yeah, I can't lie, again, like I'm left wowed by your out of possession. I think that's probably won you the league this season because, like you say, the attacking side of things wasn't great. Obviously, you have again, okay, and obviously we'll get to Trossard, but yeah, so the attacking side of things wasn't great, but the fact that you know that we're probably not even going to concede today, that just gives the team a big boost to go on and just win the game. But obviously, talk about obviously you said that you said that Havertz was poor in possession. Obviously, he's obviously really important out of possession, but obviously, yeah, talk me through the goal. Obviously, Trossard yet again. I think how many big chances, how many goals has he scored? He's like your own. He's basically like your Jota, basically for us.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
yeah, talk me through. Obviously, Havertz scored another assist. So yeah, talk me through that.
I think, yeah, I think the goal was a bit. It's clever play from us, but it's terrible from them, isn't it? It's terrible.
Yeah.
They obviously the way we. I think Havertz calls for the ball quite early from Ben White because he knows Casemiro hasn't pushed up, so he calls for the ball quickly, because he knows he's on side. And then from there, I think Johnny Evans doesn't close him down well enough, and then hits the ball across. Trossard makes near post run. That's something that he does quite well. He obviously attacks the box really well, scores a lot of goals. So I thought Wan-Bissaka should have probably done better in tracking the run. But it's all on Casemiro, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy goes straight, Anana hoofs it long, and then the guy is like an uncle, bruv. Just is not moving. Like he's not moving. And by the time Havertz gets the ball, he's onside, and yeah, and we score. But yeah, that's a big mistake from them. Kind of a gift, to be fair. And we get the goal, and from there, I think the game
Yeah.
just kind of like it wasn't kind of petered out, to be honest. Like, I know it was quite early, but
Yeah.
nothing much after that.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I was even saying to myself that like once it got to 1-0, I think I even started watching the game like maybe after you guys scored, maybe like the 25th minute. I think you guys scored in the 20th minute, like 25th minute, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, like I just watched it like the first 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be one of them games where, but then I thought maybe obviously 1-0 is always a dangerous scoreline. You know, you never know. United could break free, but then again, I think yeah, that low block, the constant. I think what I don't know what it is, but one like I always try to like look at what what do you guys do in your low block in that mid block that we don't do, for example. Um, And I was thinking, and this might even, I'm just waffling here, but I think the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool, I don't know about City, but so obviously, again, this is probably known, but I feel like with Arsenal, the intent from Arteta is to, it isn't to like, yeah, so it isn't to generate transition. So with Liverpool, we might open up a few gaps in our pressing block for you to pass into, and then we collapse on the ball and win it and then go from there. With Arsenal, I feel like your intent is about trying to win the ball back where it is in a way, or maybe it's like you guys try to yeah, I'll say try to win ball back where it is as high as possible. So wherever the ball is, I thought if Arsenal, you guys will commit as many bodies as you can to that specific area, try and win it there. Liverpool may try to funnel, of course you guys do it as well, but I feel like Liverpool more so try to funnel the ball into the areas and then press on to there, and then obviously that it causes issue because obviously you have to be really on the spot with your timings. But I think for me, what you guys try to do out of your pressing structure, even when you're in a low block, it's always trying to win the ball back, always trying to pressure the ball holder, trying to like force him to go backwards. Liverpool, yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think Liverpool want to leave gaps and they want to jump on that, but obviously that is a risk in itself. Obviously, if you do that, you like you need to be really on point. So yeah, I've been trying to pin it point all season because I feel like in a way it's like you guys have that kind of like revolutionize the opposition stuff. Do you get what I mean? Like even with City have always been good at opposition. We've been good at opposition. Obviously Tottenham have been good at opposition this season. But I feel like yeah, there's just been something really very different about the way you guys do it to us and City and other teams. So yeah, I was just thinking about that, about the intent. You guys want to win the ball back where it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just going off of my feeling, and then we try to win the ball back in a specific area. So we might try to be open here and there. Even when I look at your 4-4-2, when obviously I think it's usually Odegaard that joins the first line, and obviously it's either him, Havertz, or him and Jesus, or whoever they try to press it there. With Liverpool, I think with Liverpool we will allow the ball to maybe to be played around that center a bit more, and then try to catch you out wide with those wide pressing traps. Sometimes we do push our eights forward to join the first line to press. But yeah, man, I've just been trying to think, and yeah, I think you guys are really good at stopping the ball where it is. You guys don't even want to let it go anywhere else. We want to maybe let it go to a few areas so we can score. You want to win the ball and then play. So yeah, fair play. Arteta seems to be, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like he's like revolutionized the opposition stuff in the Prem this season. I don't know.
I think, for example, I think Diego Simeone has been doing that for a long time. Atletico Madrid. It's I
Oh,
think
but yeah. I'm a Prem casual. Wow.
yeah, nah, but like I think what it is with us is every man defends, like every single man, like literally. I think, let's say in a high press, I think it's very common. You stick your your creative player most of the time. The guy that's high between the lines, you stick him on the DM and you shadow mark him. And then if the ball goes outside, you go and then press the center half, and then you go from there man for man. You go zone to man for man. Every team does that. It's not really that much. It's not that special, like going from zone to man to man. I think what Arsenal do well is they're very committed, so they're really compact. That's the first thing, and like the centre backs, everyone backs it up at the same time, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
discipline. Even on the ball, our positioning is quite in a way where we can recover the ball very quickly.
yeah,
So like the rest defense, for example, I think in the low block, I think it's just a lot of concentration and the fact that we do everything we can to block off the middle, minimize the distances, and as well, whenever there's like a one versus one situation, there's so many bodies get around the ball
quickly.
really quickly.
Yeah,
I think that's what
yeah,
like Atletico Madrid did all those for how many years, like really well. And we've got and our wingers work so hard off the ball. It's madness. Like I think a lot of
yeah,
people, that's a
yeah,
criticism of Arteta as well. That a lot of people give, like, look, you see guys like Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Rashford, you leave them high. Like they leave them
yeah,
high to counter attack. Our our left winger forms a back five sometimes, but Saka does the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Saka is probably the most hardworking winger in Europe, in my opinion. Like you see
yeah,
the numbers are crazy in terms of his work rate off on and off the ball, and you can see it
yeah,
with the eye test. But a lot of people say that's a criticism of Arteta, that we should platform him better on the offensive side instead of the defensive side. But at the same time, it's a catch-22 in it, because that's one of the reasons why we're so good off the ball. Um, but yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of points, but I think it's mostly it's concentration and the quality of the when you got Saliba, Gabriel, and Declan Rice in front of the goalkeeper,
yeah,
you're not going to create many chances against a triangle like that. So,
yeah,
um, but yeah,
yeah. Definitely profiles as well. Yeah, I agree. I think obviously you have to obviously Arteta brought these players. So obviously, you have to give him that side of it as well. He's definitely recruited well. So yeah, man. Like I can't like I really hope. Obviously, I don't support Arsenal or City, but I really hope that Arsenal win the league between the two. Obviously, I'm probably like a obviously because I'm a Liverpool fan, innit, I'm probably like a romantic in it. Like I want the
you want
unlikely
the
hero.
story,
Like
innit?
I want, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I want the emotion to go with it. I think City winning it again will just obviously this is cliche because obviously probably every non-City fan says this, isn't it? But obviously, if City win a league, it's just going to be a thing where like, come on, man, like are you not even going to give us a bit of emotion of a page turner of like a cliffhanger? Like give us something more than just four in a row, man. So yeah, hopefully, obviously it's the last game. I think you guys have 2 points or 1 point behind them. I think it is 2 points.
Yeah,
I think
2
it's two
points,
points
but it's
behind
the
them.
same pretty much. 1 point. It's just the same thing. Like whatever
Yeah,
happens, we have to win. Whatever happens, they have to win. So like if they draw and we
yeah,
win, we're champions. So like it doesn't make a difference.
yeah. And I just want to quickly move on and talk about Havertz because obviously, like you said, he wasn't the best on the ball. Obviously, he probably didn't even have his best game. Yeah, it definitely wasn't his best game in Australia. But obviously, he's active, bro. He's active. Obviously, he's in the game. He competed for 22 draws. He won 8 of them and lost the others. But the fact that obviously, I think this obviously been brought before with the fact that he's very active physically in the pitch. So even if maybe you give the ball to him long ball or like a hopeful ball, even if he doesn't win the ball or control it, and you know that he's gonna make it, like he's gonna make something out of that situation. Either he might pressure the person who's got the ball with him long enough to allow maybe someone else to come in and get the ball. Obviously, he'll sometimes win his duels and obviously allow the team to progress up the pitch. And yeah, like in a way, and I think as well, yeah, I think it was Gary Neville that said this as well. Like you and the thing is, he said that he reminds Havertz is reminding him of that Firmino, where obviously Firmino's definitely obviously a lot more technical. He's a lot more involved in the game, but I think with regards to like the function of what he's doing for the team, I think you can draw a few similarities. Obviously, hold up play, wall passes, that kind of stuff. You kind of get the gist with that comparison. And to be fair as well, if you look at the role he's playing in the attack, he's playing. Obviously, I know that Trossard is playing at the moment, but obviously in the ideal world, you want Martinelli playing, and
Mm,
obviously you can kind of see that fusion, that thing where maybe you can see Havertz dropping deep with obviously Saka and Martinelli attacking the space behind him. So I think, yeah, I feel like he's functioned really well. Obviously, he's got 19 goals and assists this season. He's Arsenal's
mm,
second highest goal
mm.
contributor after Saka with 25. I think even if you look at his times G, he's actually overperforming it by. So his time G is 11. He's got 12 goals, so he's not even like he's can't even say that he's being a bad finisher this season. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I really want to give Havertz a shout out. Obviously he came through he was shaky, played in a position that maybe wasn't suited to him. But yeah, I really give him a shout out. Obviously he seems as if he's really settled in. Um, and yeah, I'm really happy for him. Obviously, once upon a time, I actually wanted him at Liverpool. I actually wanted him as the Firmino replacement when he was at Bayer Leverkusen. So, yeah, man. Yeah, big shout out to Havertz. Obviously, I think he's probably in this running. He's probably contributed the most with goals and assists in this running. If
Yeah, him
I
and
might be wrong.
him and Trossard. Yeah, I think in terms of numbers, I
Yeah,
think it probably is. Yeah.
yeah. So obviously, talk to me. What do you obviously? I think obviously we spoke about this last week in it, but is this now like with Havertz? It's now all right, cool. Leave him at 9, and now let him develop and just leave him alone now. Like, is it? Yeah. Like, do you think? And as well, obviously Arsenal might be in the window. It's been rumors. It's kind of I feel like as of now, it's kind of like maybe like quite down. But obviously you were rumored to be in the window for a striker. I've said before
Yeah.
on this podcast that I don't think Arsenal need a striker. I think you can do without one. I think maybe invest somewhere else. Obviously, what do you think about Havertz? Obviously, what are your thoughts on him thus far in this running, and obviously, yeah, future forward, what do you envision for him, basically?
I think, for example, I think this game, I didn't. I think as well as a lot of element of him gassing out. The guy hasn't had a rest for months.
Yeah.
Like it's outrageous. He never ever gets taken off. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, like literally all the time, every minute, the guy's 95 minutes every single game. But I think with Kai Havertz, I think you talk about the Firmino role. I think the Firmino role is a bit more like I don't think they're the same. I think what they do is they drop in. That for me, that's the only thing I can say, which is a bit more different. They're very good at press, and they drop in as a plus one to help like break a high press, for example. But Firmino, I think he's a different level. Like Kai Havertz, when he gets the ball, he won't turn. That's the thing. He'll get the ball, he'll lay it off, and then move. Yeah, or he'll make a run down the sides or something like that to help. For example, down the channel. Yeah, so that's what he'll do. Firmino, who get the ball, he'll turn, he create something, he would maybe dribble past one player and then do something. Kai Havertz is not that guy, so I think that comparison is it's very reductive. I think, but
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the Man City versus Tottenham game. Um, Obviously, I think last night every Arsenal fan was probably a Tottenham fan for the first time in their lives. And you know what? I actually want to talk about. Let's know. You know what? I obviously we'll talk about the game in it, but I actually want to talk about Tottenham, the the reaction to the game, the how they were going into the game, And I want to talk about Ange's comments in the press conference about. I watched it today, and it was that's probably, you know what, I actually like watching his press conference in there because he gives a lot of information. But I think yesterday, I'm sure, maybe I'm wrong in that, but from ones that I've watched, usually his ones are like 13 minutes, 14 minutes. This was like 5 minute press conference. He came in, said his stuff, boom, left. Um, I could tell, I could feel that this guy was livid. Not with the result. I mean, with the performance. I think Tottenham did. I think the players did themselves proud. I think we can't. I don't think anyone can like fault
Yeah,
the
no, they played
application.
quite well. Yeah, they
Yeah,
played
yeah,
quite
but
well.
obviously, I think the reaction from the fans, the media talk, I think that really got to him, and I think he was probably shocked at how much Tottenham's culture is so Arsenal not dominated, but it's like there's a bit basically. Okay, so what I'll say is that in case there's a Tottenham fan watching this, is that also Tottenham have their own culture, they have their own, vibe, but I think there's a chunk of it that is definitely centered around Arsenal and their achievements, and about stopping them basically more than it is about themselves, about winning the games and winning trophies and stuff. So what were your thoughts about obviously the whole vibe in it? Because obviously obviously you obviously expect that obviously with Twitter, social media, you usually get a lot of fans like that. But it seemed to me that it kind of like got into the match going fans. It kind of got into most Tottenham fans. Do you get what I mean? So what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, before we get to the football, basically.
Yeah, no, no, to be fair, I don't really blame them for wanting like Arsenal to for themselves to lose. I don't blame them for that. Like if I was in their position, I probably would want them to lose as well. So like it's normal, it's natural. It's natural. You don't want your like your biggest rivals winning trophies at the end of the day. And to be honest, like them getting Champions League, obviously, like I could see the other side as well. That look, it will help them get into Champions League, help the project, etc. Um, if I was in their position, I would want them to lose. I'm being real, but but the the nature of it was so mad. Like I'm hearing people saying they're gonna boo the team they score if they
Yeah,
like look. I want Ange sacked if he wins. Like I'm like brothers, sister. Like this is too much. Like
yeah,
it's the nature of it that really like I'm like yo this ain't right in it. Like, this is a bit too much. Like because at the same time, if it was something historical, like I would understand more. Like at the same in the case of look, like for example, when Arsenal were going for when they were going for the Champions League, yeah, I was like, no, we that can't happen. Like I'd do anything
mm,
to stop them winning. But that's winning them winning the Champions League, which is like we've never done that before. Plus, it's something
yeah,
like it's historical. Like Tottenham winning the Champions League ahead of Arsenal, that is crazy. Yeah, like that's something I don't think we can ever recover from until we actually win it. Um,
yeah,
but even then, they'll still have that thing over us forever. You know what I'm saying? Like them winning the Champions League
yeah,
first. We've we've won 13 league titles. Like winning one more isn't gonna change something historically. It's just you in the moment over maybe 2 3 months that are just gonna have to hear Arsenal fans going like celebrating a title win. Which again, that's why you probably want your team to lose. Fair enough. But it's the insanity of it which is just crazy. But some guy told me as well yesterday, which kind of stuck with me, is they've never seen the younger Spurs fans. They've like 25, let's say. Like I'm 23. Like most of these guys, they haven't seen Arsenal win a Premier League, so they don't ever want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like
yeah,
they don't ever want to see it, so they've never seen it. They don't want that for them to actually experience it. Which again, that I hear as well. But I can't be like I heard an argument say, "Oh, look, in 20 years' time, um, I'm gonna remember Arsenal in the Premier League, bro. We won it 13 times. It's
yeah,
not gonna change
yeah,
anything like crazy like that." So, like again, I understand like the nature of it. I don't
yeah,
like it went a bit too insane in my opinion, but it's my opinion,
yeah.
isn't it? But like But the Ange situation is interesting because he was vexed. Like he was
He was.
vexed. Um, you can tell. Like he actually ended up shouting at a fan like before as well, which
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
yeah. So like he was like. But the thing with Tottenham is like it's a situation where a lot because like they haven't like this isn't even me trying to like fire shots because they haven't won something in so long. A lot of their like happiness is based on whatever they do ahead of Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? Their local rivals. It's kind of like for example, okay, not to the same extent because they're right down there, but like Everton against Liverpool, when they beat Liverpool, it is like a big thing. Do you know what I'm
It's a
saying?
party.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but like obviously it's not the same. Obviously it's not the same. Tottenham are big six club and etc. And they've made Champions League etc. All of that stuff. But because like I think as well, Andrew wants to win things. He wants that Champions League. I know he said previously Champions League doesn't matter, but he wants that Champions League to help the team, and he doesn't really feel it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really feel that rivalry as much as the fans, etc. But he wanted that win, and I could tell as well because the way Tottenham played was actually like I'm not
It
gonna
was a top
blame their
performance.
commitment. They actually played quite well. I actually thought they played better than City. Honestly, I actually thought they played better. I thought they created more chances. I know some of them didn't result in shots, but for example, when you're right, you're literally got a clear cutback opportunity where the guy is literally, if you get the
Hmm.
pass right, it's a guaranteed goal. That's for me, that's a big chance. You know what I'm saying? Which won't
Yeah.
register on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
board, but I thought they played better than Man City, and they didn't they didn't really get the result. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
I
very
can't lie.
strange build up. I don't want to ever experience that build up again. I'll be so real because
Yeah.
that was weird.
It
That
was.
was
It
so
was. It
weird.
was. But it was. It was. And I can't lie though. Like with Spurs, I was like, although I know, yes, Spurs obviously they on the Ange, they now obviously press high. They want to win the ball up at highs. Yesterday, I was like, yeah, you could feel it. You could feel it in that first 25 minutes. They were really proactive. They were really trying to stop City from playing at the back. And to be fair, they actually reminded me a bit of Liverpool, of our performance
Mm.
against City at
Yeah.
Anfield this season. It was very, very meet them where they are, go to the ball, pressure the ball holder, and yeah, like they cause City problem. Even when you look at the stats, even look at the stats, for example, both teams had 5 shots on target. Spurs had 10 shots. City had 8. They both missed one big chance according to the stats. Obviously, it can vary. Obviously, but obviously, if you look at the times G as in the expected goals. So obviously City created more expected goals because of the penalty. But obviously, if you take away the penalty from Haaland,
Mm.
City it's basically virtually the same, essentially. And I think probably on the night you can probably say that the biggest difference was obviously KDB and that robot and Haaland. Um, Even the goal, it came out of nowhere. The first goal, for example, came out of nowhere. I think first off, the start of the first half, I can't remember what happened, but I think, yeah. I think it was a switch of play or something like that. And then KDB, I can't remember who played the pass, but that run he made through the lines, and obviously, again, you've got that creature, that monster just hanging there. Even when you look at Haaland's stats, for example, like I, I don't know, but it kind of feels like he's had not a bad season, but it kind of feels like he's had a quiet season. Like no one's
Mm.
he's like he hasn't really been at the forefront of conversations the way it was last year. I know obviously when you score so many goals like this, it kind of becomes normal for everyone to just forget about you in a sense. But even the season, like in all of I like today, I was checking the stats for like every attacking stat for players, and he's just first, second. I don't think he's even below third for any attacking stat. Maybe because the assist stuff, but goals. shots on shots on target, expected goals, goals per 90, the most expected goals, everything. He's a monster, and obviously it kind of, I don't know, it kind of just feels like he's been quiet this season. He's been this and that. Also, you look at even KDB. I didn't even check his stats in it, but I know when I watched Carragher's his team of the season, I think he said some stupid stat about he's played 17 games, and he hasn't even, so of those 17 games, he definitely hasn't even played like every night, and
Mm,
he has the most. I think the most assists. Obviously now, I think obviously Elliot has more than him now in the
yeah,
Prem for 2024, but he's still got the second most assists in the Premier League in 2024 this
it's
season.
nuts, man.
Not in the whole, not in the season, but just in 2024, for example. It's like, come on, man. Like when you look at that, yeah, these guys have players who can just one moment. I think obviously Liverpool don't have that, but don't have that to that degree. I would say Arsenal definitely don't have that to that degree. But I think City, I think that's probably what's kept them in the race for the title, because they really haven't looked as solid going backwards. They haven't even looked as fluid, like attacking wise, like penetrating teams and like really getting through them. But yeah, you have like 5 minutes. Honestly, I'm not even trying to reduce them to like a moments team, because there's no way that they're a moments team. But I'm saying this season, it seems if they have this like they is yeah. I feel like they have relied on their difference makers a lot more this season than previous seasons. That's what I'll say about City.
Um, it's been strange, because I feel that even though they've not been as, like, let's say, as exciting going forward, I still feel like in every single game they play,
They should
they're
win.
still the much better team. Like they control the game better than every when, like, for example, when you've got a team, yeah, that hold the ball in your final third for 80% of the game. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a bit, but like
Yeah,
when you hold the ball in their final third for 80% of the game, and you've got the level of players that they have, and how good they are out of possession when it comes to pressing, counter pressing, etc., you're obviously naturally gonna be a
yeah,
monster team, even if you're not as fluid or as exciting. If you have the ball in that specific area for 80% of the game, and if you control the game and dominate the game the way they do, you'll win most football matches. That's why they win every
yeah,
single game. Right? That's why they're so much. They don't, like this season. It's mad. It's mad this season. If that Rodri did not get suspended, bro,
oh my lord,
they could have gone invincible. Every single game that they haven't
he's played. Yeah,
won is when Rodri didn't play. That's
yeah,
crazy, considering the fact that
yeah,
they've not even been like. For me, I personally think their performance levels have been quite consistent. I think it's been more consistent than it was last year. I mean, last year for the first half, they were crap, but they got a lot of they picked up a lot of results when they were mid to basically keep up with Arsenal on like a 5 point margin. Then Arsenal collapsed at the end and they went crazy. I think this year, I think either side of that Rodri suspension, they've been really consistent. I feel performance wise, even though they've not been as exciting because they've controlled every single game to a level where if you give these guys so much of the ball, eventually they will score. And I think that's what's happened. And certain players like Gundogan left last season, this season, Foden has stepped up. I know they're not the same player, but I'm saying in terms of like clutch, in terms of stepping up in with numbers, etc. He's come up. I think with what's kind of like annoying me personally is because Arsenal, for example, haven't conceded 2xG all season, apart from
yeah.
non-penalty xG all season. They conceded 2xG
Damn.
in 2 games in the run-in against Forest and Spurs, and they conceded 0 goals. And sometimes I'm
Yeah,
just like, you know what? Sometimes you need the luck to fall for you, and
yeah,
the fine margins. Do you know what I'm saying? The fine margins, and in the end, the fine margins have just slightly went Man City's way up till now. So,
yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like for example, we're gonna get onto that chance though. when Human Son is the best
Ah,
finisher in the league, one of the best finishers in the
his
world.
conversion rate is nuts.
When he's through on goal 1v1, you don't trust any other player.
It's true.
In my opinion, I wouldn't trust any other player to be through 1v1 against the goalkeeper, and he fluffed it.
Against
And that the
Ortega,
title. Hmm? Exactly.
against
Exactly.
Ortega, who's like 5 minutes
That's,
not even fresh enough to even.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
that is when you know, like, like the title was right there. That chance was right there.
yeah.
Yeah. Human Son, yeah. He scores that, bro. Arsenal are probably 95% likely going to be champions. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the Iheanacho one 4 years ago. 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, the
Ah,
Iheanacho.
whether yeah,
Bro, he has the whole goal in front of him, yeah? And he hits it first time so wide, it's mental. But
yeah,
but yeah, it's just some
yeah,
things are just it's fate in it. But I thought Tottenham actually played really well. I thought their pressing was really good. I thought they forced Manchester City, especially in the first half, they forced into so many mistakes in the build up where they hit out of play or where there was a miscommunication. I thought their man for man pressing was like each man covered each player really well. Um, and they obviously set up in a way
yeah.
where I thought Ange did a really good move where he played an extra midfielder in the middle,
Yep,
and that's how they
yep,
built
yep,
up
yep,
so many times. I think their build up is very fluid as it is, but because of that extra man,
yeah.
it helped them build up much. Obviously, that resulted in them having one less guy out front in the focal point. But I think if they cut it back a few times, it would have they could have scored. But
Yeah,
they play quite well. But in the end, Man City do what Man City do. They're machines, bro. They're machines, and
yeah,
they win the league.
yeah. And
They
I
deserve
even
it.
liked, yeah, and I even liked the way he shifted Van de Ven to left back and then put
Mm,
Dragusin
he played quite
um
well. Yeah.
with Romero, I believe it was. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I feel like Ange. I like Ange. I feel like I feel like out of all the managers, I watch his press conferences a lot. I don't know. I know people like obviously. I know people like kind of feel like he's like because he's Australian and obviously the way he speaks sometimes he can be a bit annoying or whatever. But I actually like the way he speaks. I like his just what he says. He just seems like a very yeah. I love his. I feel like I really like him as a manager personally. So yeah, I'm hoping that what do you call it? Yeah, next season we can see Tottenham a bit more because I feel like there's potential for Tottenham and Arsenal to have a proper like competitive rivalry. I know. Obviously, Arsenal are a top team, and obviously they are probably quite a bit far ahead of their project than Tottenham. But I feel like with Ange, there's a chance that they could manufacture something really special there. So yeah, definitely got to keep an eye out for Tottenham. But yeah, let's just shift over to the last but not least the the third team in the title race, Liverpool FC. Yeah, 3-3 against Aston Villa on the Monday night. Yeah, we were 2-1. We scored first a free goal. It was like in like the first 30 seconds. Elliot tried to cross the ball, and obviously Martinez just lost the ball. And then again, just manage the game. Just don't always go forward, pass it around. You know, consolidate your territory. Get into the final third, stay there. Liverpool again aren't able to do that. Um, to be fair, Villa. So basically, Villa. If I'm okay, I can be a bit fair because obviously Villa with their high line, they tempt you to play long to be redirected, and obviously us being a really direct team already, we went for that, and so whenever Villa would get the ball, Bailey, Watkin, I think Jarby plays well. Yeah, Jarby plays well. So it was Jarby and Bailey, and I think Jarby was like second striker or something like that. And Diaby and obviously Bailey was like left wing, and I mean sorry, right wing. And yeah, they caused us problems. Obviously, Klopp was smart. He did put Gomez out there. He didn't play Robertson, so he had his brains on. But yeah, just the whole game was just a classic Liverpool game, not controlling the game, not trying to calm the game down. Obviously, again, I would even say that. So I think so we actually scored 1-0 win thing. Then did we? Was it two? Yeah, it was.
It was
Was
1
it
0
two? No,
1
no, no.
1.
Yeah. Then 2-1, and obviously when and then it was 3-1. Yeah, because Konza scored at the end of at the start of the
Start second
second
half, yeah.
half, and I thought, but then again, it just I feel like when it comes to okay, you're winning the game. Can you calm it down? Can you not win attack all the time? Can you just calm it down, play around, find spaces, be a bit more smart with your play? Liverpool just have not seemed to be able to do that this season. Every single time we have to, find space and attack quickly. We have to be direct. And so, yeah, that's a classic case again. There wasn't even much different from this game to like maybe if you compare this game maybe to even the Palace game in some sense. Obviously, Palace we played much worse, but just in terms of like making it a basketball match. Again, Villa showed really good resolve to come back, and because obviously they didn't know that Tottenham were gonna lose, so to them they were actually still in a bit of a
Yeah.
of a chiz. So yeah, they played well. They had a lot of chances, a lot. And yeah, so that's Liverpool. I think obviously that's a loss. That's Klopp's last away game. Um, yeah, I think for Liverpool now, it's about getting to the end of the season. Our season's done basically. We've completed we've done what we needed to do, and yeah, it's just about who's going to be in next season, who's not going to be in next season for like players. Obviously Salah, maybe Diaz. Obviously Trent's contract not done yet. Some talk about Van Dijk. So I think for now it's just about trying to stay. Even for next season, I don't even know what is like realistic to aim for. Can we go for the title? Probably, probably not. Top four, yes, but Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, United, maybe you never know. It's gonna be tough. Gonna be tough. So, yeah, that's like my little analysis of the game. I didn't really find or like it was just like it was to me it was a same old kind of game basically. Um, 3-1 up should be enough to win any game for an elite team. Any game, no way that you can blame or even obviously Nunez came on was offside by an inch. He scored but was offside. Obviously Salah and Diaz did miss a few chances, but 3-1, regardless of 3-1, your elite team, top three team, top two team, if you want to call yourself that, you should be able to take these games home. And so we didn't. And so yeah, game state, not managing it, not understanding. All right, cool. We're winning. Let's just play slow. Let's just be slower. Yeah. So yeah, that's Liverpool for us. It sounds like I'm being negative, but it's just the game itself. I'm not like just the game was just the same old. Yeah.
No, it was a great game. I thought I really enjoyed that game. I really enjoyed it.
For the neutral, of course.
No, it was a great game. I thought both teams actually, from a on the ball perspective, played some really good football, man. I thought both teams played really well. I thought obviously Liverpool had a bit more problems managing the transition and whatnot, but I think as well Liverpool, I thought Villa actually played really well. I think in possession, I thought obviously our possession, I thought the game was the momentum changed many times during the game, but
Yeah.
I thought in general Liverpool actually, I thought both teams played really well, but there's not much to analyze in it. But Klopp's
Yeah, there
good,
isn't. There isn't. Do
Klopp's
you get what I
good.
mean?
We've
Like,
got top four. It is what it is, man, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, we can talk about Liverpool in more depth once we have our manager in and summertime and whatnot. But yeah, I think we've actually done it. We've done it. Another episode done. Yeah, that takes out to about 50 minutes. So hope you guys can enjoy. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, please, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And obviously, yeah, our contact details are always in the description. So obviously, if you ever want to contact the podcast. You can obviously send us an email if you want to like just have a conversation about what we've spoken about. Yeah, our Instagrams are in the description, and obviously they're obviously on the screen as well. So yeah, feel free to always connect. Ask questions if you want to discuss and whatnot. And yeah, I think we'll definitely be back again. The season's about to end it's done for Liverpool, but for Arsenal, it's about to hit its peak or hit its not a low, but it's about to end for everyone. Sunday we're all gonna play. So yeah, let's end on some predictions. So obviously, I think the relegation's basically done now. I think Luton, I want them to stay up, but
Yeah.
Luton are probably gone. Luton, Sheffield, and Burnley. I'm glad about that I liked Burnley and Luton. I really like Luton because they actually changed. Rob actually changed his style of play like 10 games in, and since then they've been better for it, but not good enough for Luton. For the title, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my
Yeah,
romantic
strong,
story. I
bro.
won.
Done.
Nah, man, nah. I'm gonna choose to believe, man, because nah, man, I want Arsenal to win it. I believe Arsenal will win it. I think West Ham, the City, it's at home. I know it's at home. It's a sticky one,
Bro, they've
but
conceded 5 goals in their last 2 away games.
look,
It's
if it's gonna
mental.
happen,
Like,
it's
it's,
look. If it's gonna
way.
happen, it's gotta happen. It's gotta look. Kudus, Antonio, Paqueta, James Ward-Prowse. Come on, man. Come on. So I'm gonna go with Arsenal to win the title. I hope City fumble. Yeah, that's my predictions. What about you, bro?
It's mad because you want Arsenal to win the league. Back in the day, you're in the minority. I can't lie. Back in the days when it was like, because I don't like what Man City stand for in it. So like,
Yeah,
literally, that's why personally I before when Man City literally used to go for these when Man City Liverpool used to actually have these title races, I actually wanted Liverpool to actually get over the line.
yeah,
I actually wanted Liverpool to get
yeah,
over the line at the end.
yeah,
I don't have that many Liverpool friends, so like it doesn't really affect me like that as opposed to like other people. So I was like, you know what, good manager, good group of players. I've always like I prefer it, but just don't like what Man City stand for. Hopefully they get what's coming for them in the coming years. But yeah, in general about Sunday, I don't know. I'm gonna be there, so I'm gonna be there
Oh, is
at
it
the
also
Emirates.
gonna be at the ground?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Oh,
at the
come on, bro.
ground.
You have to believe, man. You have to believe.
I can't like. I'm just gonna go over. I can't. I'm mostly going. I'm mostly going there just to like clap the players off after a really good effort in it this season. I think I've got no blame for them. I'm gonna be obviously you can nitpick on results which happened months ago, decisions which the manager made. But at the end of the day, when a team goes, if we win on Sunday, we would have went 16 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And for
What
me
more can
to
you
blame
do?
the team for not getting over the line after that run, considering the fact that we were actually, it's not like we were like 10 points off Manchester City in the what do you call it in the first half of the season. If we were like let's say long way away, we can be like, oh look, we just gave ourselves too much to do and it was impossible for us to make it up. We were actually
Yeah.
quite close to them. We were like 3 points off. So if you're 3 points off and you go on that run, you'd think that
You
look,
should
yeah,
win. You
you've
should
made up
win.
the gap. You've made up the gap if you've gone after that. If
Yeah.
you've gone with that run, any normal person would be like, yeah, that's more than enough to cover 3 points. Should probably win it by 3-4. But I mean, looks unlikely enough.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Bless you. Bless you. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So are you gonna stick with City? You're gonna win title then? Basically, you're saying that basically that you
Yeah,
believe,
man.
or you're gonna
I can't. Like, I thought if
fair.
after the derby would be champions, in it. I thought after the
Yeah, you did.
derby,
Yeah, yeah. You said after. You said if you win against Chelsea, Arsenal,
and
and
Tottenham,
United,
I
you're gonna
thought
be
we'd win the league.
champions.
Yeah. These robots, man. It is what it is, man. We
Yeah.
go again next year.
Yeah, but yeah. Yep, let's see. So, guys, we'll call it a day. Thank you for listening. If you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or other podcasting platforms, thank you for watching. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Adios.
Take care, guys.